Hi guys, you're watching Google Professor, and today you will hear about 5 fascinating scientific and psychological facts that will blow your mind. Let's go! Audience effect and drive theory. The audience effect is the effect an audience has on a person or a group of people who are attempting to perform a certain task while being watched. An effect first studied by psychologists in the 1930s. It primarily shows up in two opposite extremes. Many performers, athletes in particular, will actually raise their level of play when a large crowd is watching them, while others will succumb to stress and self-consciousness and end up performing worse than their true talent level is. In 1965, social psychologist Robert Zajong suggested that the drive theory could account for the audience effect. He suggested that what determines whether a passive audience causes a positive or a negative effect on the performer depends upon the relative easiness of the task being performed. If the performer believes that he should win a fight, for instance, the audience effect will tend to motivate him to perform at a high level. If he is unsure to begin with, the audience effect may facilitate a loss due to lower self-esteem. Pygmalion Effect. Pygmalion Effect, which connects the positive expectations placed upon the performer to the resulting high quality of that performance. Named after the classic George Bernard Shaw play Pygmalion, upon which the film My Fair Lady is based, and sometimes called the Rosenthal effect. The effect is essentially a type of self-fulfilling prophecy. The effects of Pygmalion have been studied at length in the world of athletics, business, and especially education. In business, the effect is seen most often in the way managers get results based on their expectations of their own employees. Overview effect. Of all the psychological effects ever named, observed and studied, the overview effect has to be in the running for the least common. Only 534 people have ever experienced the conditions that lead to it. When astronauts in orbit or on the surface of the moon first see the Earth in its entirety, many report feeling a deep sense of scale and perspective that has come to be called the overview effect. Coined by writer Frank White, the effect can be deeply moving, confusing, inspiring, and emotionally challenging, as the view of the entire Earth changes one's perspective in a profound way. Astronauts have returned home with a renewed sense of the way we're all connected, of the relative meaninglessness of cultural boundaries, and the desire to take care of the Earth's environment. Fretful Effect. Let's say you have a crush on someone, and this person seems talented, kind, and graceful. Then, let's say you see her trip on the sidewalk and take a giant spill, falling flat on her face. For various reasons, the intensity of your crush increases and you find yourself even more attracted to her as a result of your clumsiness. Studied especially in the world of sports, business, and politics, this is a psychological phenomenon known as the Fretful Effect. Originally described and named by researcher Elliot Aronson in 1966, the Fretful Effect carries with it certain implications. The research on the subject suggests that people tend to like others who are imperfect, who make mistakes, and who admit errors. Sleeper Effect. The sleeper effect is an oft-studied, controversial psychological effect that has to do with the way people's opinions are affected by messages they receive. In general, when a viewer sees an advertisement with a positive message, that viewer will create a positive association with the message. Over time, however, that positive association fades, and eventually there may have been no net positive to the ad at all. Under certain conditions, however, if the initial message comes with a discounting cue, the positive associations may actually remain for a longer period of time. A discounting cue usually comes in the form of a source that's not considered reliable or trustworthy when the message comes with a disclaimer or when you hear something from an unusual source. For instance, if you see a negative political ad paid by the opponent of the ad's subject, you may initially be suspicious of the ad's credibility. Over time, however, you may start to believe the message. So guys, these were 5 fascinating scientific and psychological facts that will blow your mind. If you like this video, then be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!